Jamunatira Bandachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hey Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Bandachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Shishi Radha Madhava Astasaki Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Chandradaya Mandir Ki Jai Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1. In the beginning of every volume, Srila Prabhupada had one verse like that. And you'll notice that, there. He picked one verse to put in the beginning. And, in the originally the Bhagavatam was like more, this was two volumes like that and so on. So in the process of combining the volumes, these other verses kind of disappeared. But one time we went through and put all these verses that Prabhupada has in the beginning. You look there. We put them in one little booklet. And it was interesting, like collection of verses like that. For example, some of them were like the first verse from the teachings of Queen Kunti, which not like a famous verse in itself, but it's the beginning, of a whole section like that and so on. So it's a very nice selection of verses from the Bhagavatam. Who's the first commentator on Srimad-Bhagavatam? Or he wrote it, yeah. Sridhar Swami, right? You have to take Sridhar Swami as the first commentator. But Madhvacharya has comments before that, right? So why isn't Madhvacharya the first commentator? I found out 2 weeks ago. Because he doesn't comment on the whole thing. He has comments on selected parts like that and so on. But Sridhar Swami is the first person we have the full commentary. We had this program, the Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, Shonika Rishi, and Radhika, Krishna Kshetra, maybe about 6 more ISKCON scholars co-sponsored the program just this last January or something, at the University of Madras. And they had scholars from all over the world. They got a very, very good response. They were surprised, And it was very nicely organized. And it was all about the Srimad-Bhagavatam. One section was about the history of art, and they were showing very, very beautiful illustrations from different centuries and so on. And some of these are still completely fresh and everything else, because to get the colors they were using arsenic, right? And nothing eats arsenic, you know. Another section, different topics, but I made a presentation on presenting Srimad-Bhagavatam amongst the scientific community, you know, Bhakti Vedanta Institute style. It was very, very effective, very nice. The scholars said it was one of the nicest conferences they've gone to. Yeah. One second here. We're broadcasting this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Then one section was from the, there's a thing called the Catalogus Catalogorum. And it's a how do you call it, a bibliography of all ancient known Sanskrit texts on the planet. And I think it's maybe about like 25 years old, somebody started it. So they have a bibliography, you know, books on Ayurveda, Maharaj of Mysore's library, London. And when it was last published, it had over 140,000 ancient Sanskrit texts cataloged. But our friend Professor Bandapajaya was laughing. He said at Varanasi alone, there's over 100,000 uncatalogued, just at Varanasi. And using the best preservative techniques, which are not using for all of them, they're all being destroyed like that, so on. So there's unlimited quantity of Sanskrit literature, which everybody should learn Sanskrit, children. Yeah, you know, so much to do in terms of Vedic knowledge. So one of the things they were indexing was the Srimad-Bhagavatam. You know? And so the scholar came and was talking about it. Most of the Puranas do not have commentaries, right? The Srimad-Bhagavatam has about 120 major commentaries. There's so many commentaries, but 120 like prominent commentaries by different acharyas, different sampradayas, commentaries on those. And then after that, the next one, as I remember, was the Skanda Purana with like 30 commentaries. You know? Radhika Raman, our good scholar, was there at Oxford studying, and they bring different professors, you know, to lecture. The doctorate program is like you write maybe 6 papers or something, you know. Somebody comes and they'll lecture to the students, maybe 8 students for 2-3 weeks. Then you have to produce a whole research paper out of that. You know? And you have one mentor who's guiding you, but other ones are actually professors who come to teach you. It's an interesting system like that. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. So anyway, one of those professors was Acharya Narasimha Rao, and was from South India. He left his body since then. And he was actually there to lecture on Srimad-Bhagavatam. And maybe 8 students along with Radhika. Then afterwards he said, Ravi, you know, let's talk. You know, he said, I read all the major Sanskrit works and most of the minor ones. And he said, I'm not being proud. I've been doing this for 45 years. So if I hadn't done that, it would be ridiculous. You know, and it describes in the Puranas somewhere that the Puranas are very, very beautiful. Like stars in the sky, you know, very sharp, very beautiful, and maybe a little proud of themselves, until the moon of Srimad-Bhagavatam comes up. Oh, he's bigger than we are. Yeah. And Dr. Rao told him, he said, it's not an exaggeration. He said, for the beauty of the poetry, for the sophistication of the grammar, and for the depth of the philosophy, Srimad-Bhagavatam is in a class by itself. There's nothing like it. You know? Also, our friend Professor Bandapajaya, one time we were at his house, and he gave me this book, and it was by an atheist, you know. This guy, life came from matter, an Indian guy. Life came from matter, we're all products of evolution. And his conclusion was that the highest product of evolution was Srimad-Bhagavatam. And here it is. Isn't evolution great? It's produced Srimad-Bhagavatam. Yeah. So even if you're an atheist, you appreciate this. I can go on and on, you know. But anyway, Prabhupada gave this. It was incredible. And he's like gigantic acharya, you know, in terms of what he's done for the world. You know, incredible. You know. So anyway, every volume, in the beginning, Prabhupada picked out one verse. And of course, there would be 2 verses in this originally like that. So let's start the Bhagavatam there. This is page 196. And it's a very, very appropriate verse. Okay, where it is here. Okay. So Srimad-Bhagavatam 1, 3, 4, 3. 1, you know it. Yeah. 1, 3, 4, 3. We divide it into modules in our Bhakti Bhagavatam thing, of course. The first module is chapters 1, 2, 3. Sutta to the sages. Second module is Narada to Vyas, chapters 5, 6, 7. Like that. So it naturally falls into sequences. Okay. Okay, please repeat. Krishna Swadharma Upagate Krishna Swadharma Upagate Krishna Swadharma Upagate Dharma Jnana Adibi Saha Dharma Jnana Adibi Saha Dharma Jnana Adibi Saha Kalo Nasta Drishamesha Kalo Nasta Drishamesha Puranarko Dunoditaha Krishna Swadamo Pagate Dharma Jnanadi Besaha Kalonasta Drisha Esha Puranarko Dunoditaha Boliye Krishna Swadharma Upagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Narako Dinoditaha Krishna Swadharma Upagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Kalonasta Drishamesha Puranarko Dunoditaha Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Kalonasta Drishamesha Puranarko Dunoditaha. Ladies? Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Kalonasta Drishamesha Anarko Nudoditaha Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Kalonastam Drishamesha Puranarko Dunoditaha Krishna Swadhamopagate Dharma Jnana Dibisaha Kalonasta Drishamesha Puranarko Dunoditaha. Krishna in Krishnas. So Sanskrit, what has declensions? We say to Krishna, from Krishna, with Krishna, at Krishna, on Krishna. But Sanskrit goes Krishnaya, Krishnasya, Krishna, Krishnena. So this is Krishna. In Krishna. In Krishna. Swadhama. Own abode. Upagate. Having returned. Dharma. Religion. Jnana. Knowledge. Adibihe. Combined together. Saha. Along with. Kalau. In the Kali Yuga, Nashdadrisham, of persons who have lost their sight. Eshaha, all these. Purana Arkaha, the Purana which is brilliant like the sun. Aduna, just now. Uditaha, has arisen. Krishnesvadamo pagate jnana dharma dibisaha, kalo dharma jnana dibisala saha, kalo nashta drisha esha, Purana Arko dunoditaha. This Bhagavad Purana, the brilliant of the sun, it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in this age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Okay. How many people become confused, don't know what to do sometimes? Yeah, okay. Here it is. Just open the flashlight. Yeah. Okay. Prabhupada says, Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal abode, eternal Dhamma, abode, where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia. And his eternal abode is manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his external energy. When he descends on the material world, he displays himself with all paraphernalia in his internal potency, which is called Atmamaya. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atmamaya. His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to reestablish the codes of religion, which are directly enacted by him. Except for God, no one can establish the principles of religion. So Prabhupada's paraphrasing a verse. What is that verse? Yeah, which is, who's speaking that? Yamaraj to his constables. Okay. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God in our relationship with him, in our duties in relationship with him, and to know our ultimate destination after leaving this material body. Now, Prabhupada summarized three things there. What are the Sanskrit names for those three things? How about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana? Probably the same thing, actually. Yeah, it's nice. Well, the conditioned souls who are entrapped by the material energy hardly know all these principles of life. Most of them are like animals, engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. And what is the most prominent? I think Prabhupada says of these four, which is the most prominent? Fearing. Yeah. They are mostly engaged in sense enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge, or salvation. They are still more blind in the present age of quarrel, or Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal addition of the animals. You saw these pictures, right? Sometimes of dogs doing things like playing poker or something. Of animals doing things. It's funny, but it's just like, it's appropriate. They have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, and ego. But they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. They can risk their lives to become a dog or a hog just after leaving the present body. For they have completely lost sight of the ultimate aim of life. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga. and he returned to his own eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religiosity. Yeah. So people engage in religiosity to get a Cadillac, to get, so many things, right? Some kind of benefit from their religiosity, to establish yourself amongst the society. I'm in church, see this and that. And then maybe to get fear, to calm their fears of death, like that. So these are all pretentious meaning? Purposes, right? Yeah. Pretentious something, yeah. Yeah. Things to be accomplished by religion. But Bhagavad Gita talks about then the conclusion of religion is actually to get out of this world, really. Bhagavad Gita takes us to the level of Paramatma. And Srimad-Bhagavatam, starts off where Bhagavad Gita finishes like that. Of course, we're studying Bhagavad Gita as it is, and Prabhupada's purports go a lot beyond that. Sarvadharma parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayi samima suchaha. Don't fear. I will free you from all these things like that. Na sochati na kangshati. What's the beginning? No, beginning? No, very, very beginning. He says, Sochayan amvasochas twams pragnya bhashams chabasache gatasum zakatasuncha nanu sochanti panditaha. Because Arjuna is lamenting. In the very beginning, Krishna says, you're lamenting for stupid things. So that word sochati goes all the way through the Bhagavad Gita again and again. Lamentation, lamentation. And the end, Krishna says that. If you engage in, do what I'm telling you, I'll free you from lamentation, delusion. So it's kind of like what Bhagavad Gita is aiming at. Prabhupada says Bhagavad Gita is aiming at liberation, focusing on Paramatma. And then, it goes on to Bhagavan in the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Of course, Somya Vapu is in Bhagavad Gita, but it passes by very quickly like that. So he spoke Bhagavad Gita to eradicate all pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from the material world, he empowered Srila Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And thus the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhagavatam are like torchbearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and Srimad-Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life, Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad-Bhagavatam as the direct representation of the Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad-Bhagavatam can see also Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Yeah. So, Prabhupada says a few times that one should act as he hears from the lips of his spiritual master. Right? This is a big problem for some people, sometimes characterized as Ritvik. Right? Because Prabhupada says several times, you have to act as you hear from the lips of your spiritual master. Did you hear from Prabhupada's lips? Yeah. Okay. So when Prabhupada was in Berkeley, came there only one time, of course. He came to San Francisco many times. We moved across the bay to Berkeley in 1975, and he came for Ratha Yatra. And maybe one of the few times I actually, heard Prabhupada directly and so on. So I remember one reporter asked him, Swamiji, what will happen to your movement when you die? And Prabhupada said, I heard this from Prabhupada's lips. Now you can hear it from my lips. Like that. Yeah. And you can accept me as spiritual master. In this respect, if you judge my character, okay, this guy, okay, yeah. Doesn't mean I'm Uttamadaka or anything else. Okay, but we know him, okay, trust what he's saying. Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will live forever in my books. Like that. And so that's a fact, okay? So my job is finished. Finished as guru. Prabhupada's here, Very famous Bhakti Bringa Maharaj. The story he was in Delhi, maybe about 6 years ago or something. He was trying to get his visa renewed in India some time ago. And of course, if you know Indian bureaucracy, this is a process extending over several thousand lifetimes to try and renew your visa in India and everything else. So after some endeavor, he finally found the government complex, he finally found the building, he finally found the office, he went in there, and there were several desks there, people working, and papers that had been stacked up since the Viceroy of India, this kind. So finally found this one boy who was working, and he said, yeah, I'm trying to renew my visa, this and that, and forth and so on. So the guy looked at him and said, okay, yeah. He said, okay, how long have you been here? Okay, you got to fill out the P form. And if they check this, and you got to do the Q form, and after that, you got to go there and do this. And it's like all these things. So Marius is thinking, this is going to take, days, So the boy's looking at him. He says, okay, look, I'll help you. You're going to come with me. So if we got to go to this office, when we go there, it'll take a long time. So if you can take the stairway with me, watch out for that step. Hold on here, step over that. We can make it. So he went all over the thing, and he would go to guys' offices and force them to stop their work and help him. So after about 45 minutes, everything was finished. All the papers were finished. And he's finishing everything off, And he says, the reason I'm helping you is because you're, a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Then he pulled a Bhagavad Gita out of his drawer about 5 years ago. And he said, I was so disturbed. Last year I didn't know what to do in life and who I was really unhappy, But then I got, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami's Bhagavad Gita, and now I'm so happy. Everything is so nice, Do you think if I wrote to him, he would answer? 5 years ago. So I had to tell him, actually Prabhupada left his body in 1977. It's like somebody coming in and saying, what's your name? What's your name? I'm sorry, there's an accident, your father's dead. It was that impact. The guy just broke down and started crying right there in front of everybody, work with that. So he had a completely, personal relationship with Srila Prabhupada by reading the books and stuff, so on. So our job is just Vartmana Pradarshika Guru, get people to associate with Prabhupada. Okay, and then Prabhupada says one time, Diksha Guru is that person who initiates according to the rituals. It says other things too, but it can be that simple. You initiate according to the rituals and stuff, and some relationship, in the Sampradaya, and then Shiksha from Prabhupada, So also in that same lecture, when Prabhupada was there, he also said, anybody who chants Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Harigaur Bhakta Vrinda, and follows it with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, has achieved the perfection of life. So simple, But if you want to preach, you should probably read my books. Yeah, he said probably. Yeah. Okay. So read my books. We do this thing called the Bhaktivedanta Library. We go to people's houses or something. And of course in the West here, in North America, everybody has Prabhupada's books, everything like that. It doesn't mean they read them, but they have them all. Okay. Yeah. And so we start off with, what book do we start off with the Bhaktivedanta Library? Of course we can talk about the Vedas, and so on. So we start with the Isopanishad. Yeah. There's Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is that which is directly heard from the Lord. The sages then contemplate this, smaranam, and they produce their work. So do we have anything from Srila Prabhupada which is Shruti? Huh? Isopanishad. Yeah, it's Shruti, right? There's 4 Vedas, right? And with every Veda, there's a collection of Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. The Brahmanas are how the Grihastas, right? Grihastas can use that Veda. The Aranyakas are how the Vanaprasthas can use it. And the Upanishads are for the complete renunciates like that. So the Isopanishad is associated with which Veda? So we're testing people here, huh? Yajurveda, okay, Bhakti Shastri. We're giving out diplomas here today. Yeah, it's a. We're coming to that next. We're coming to see. He's already ahead of us like that. Yeah. So the Isopanishad is Shruti, okay, and many times in the thing, Prabhupada says this is better explained here. This is better explained here. So I think Prabhupada gave it to us so for we we can say, hey, we got Shruti. Yeah. And amongst the Upanishads, it's very prominent. It's very prominent. Any place in Prabhupada's books is there a list of the 108 Upanishads? This is Bhakti Sarvabhauma question. Chaitanya Charitamrita. What verse number? Adi Leela, chapter 7, which Prabhupada presented as a separate book verse. Verse number, you'll never forget it, 108. There's no other reason to put it there, practically speaking. Adi Leela, teachings of Lord Chaitanya 5, verse number 108. There it is. List of the 108 Upanishads. And Kakata, Isopanishad, right at the top like that. So after that, in our Bhaktivedanta library, we go then to the Gita Upanishad, like that, Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Then we go to the heart of the whole thing, which is, Srimad-Bhagavatam. And that's the heart of our whole Bhaktivedanta library. Then Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is basically a Srimad-Bhagavatam class. Right? Lord Chaitanya is showing us how to appreciate Srimad-Bhagavatam. Then we have the Krishna book, which is 10th canto. Yeah. Then we have Light of the Bhagavat, which is one chapter from the 10th canto. Then we have, what else? We have Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is like a summary of the whole thing. 18,000 verses summarized in like 1,700 verses. You want just the Bhakti section, the fast line? Okay, there it is, to the beginning to the end. And also, of course, it goes on to Ujjvala Nilamani. It doesn't go, it goes higher to. So Nectar of Devotion is a complete science. Everything is there. Opus Magnus. It's Rupa Goswami's great work. The Nectar of Instruction, right? It's like a summary, of everything we have, and also of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Then we have room conversations, 35 volumes, something like that. Morning walks, Bhagavad Gita lectures, Srimad-Bhagavatam lectures, letters, small books. So people have these sometimes. You're stacking them up, right? It's a very, very nice, nice program. Also a PowerPoint show. And then I said at the end one time, and some people say, Prabhupada didn't give us everything, So one guy in the audience, he said, thank God. When they're stacked up like that, a professional author, right, who knows what he's doing, how long does it take to produce a book? Got a contract, he knows what he's doing. 2 years. 2 years. Anyway, 2 years. Prabhupada produced all those books in 10 years, was it? How many? Yeah, 10 years. I've calculated it would take 35 professional authors to keep up with Prabhupada, what he did. Oh, it's so repetitive. No, there's one purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita which is 17 pages long. 17, give a class on that, right? Yeah. It's a refutation of Sanatana Goswami's It's a summary of Sanatana Goswami's refutation of Shankaracharya's commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, where he tries to prove that the bodies of Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, and Aniruddha are material, like that. So it should be a separate booklet, right? Published as a separate thing like that, and so on. So even from that point of view, Prabhupada is, not an ordinary human being. And Srimad-Bhagavatam is the heart of all this. So here's the Bhaktivedanta library. But where to start? Prabhupada tried to systematize it. He suggested Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti by Baba, and he gave outlines for the curriculum. But I also saw a curriculum that Bhakti Swarup Damodar did for Berkeley. He wanted to have a university in Berkeley. He had a whole idea. So he wrote up a whole curriculum using Prabhupada's books, and he gave it to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, yes, this is good, this will work. He said, but for political science, we will study the speeches of Maharaj Prithu. Okay? And for physical sciences, we will study, Kapila Sankhya, like that, and so on. Yeah. So there are other ways to do this. It isn't like, Prabhupada gave like suggestion on how to organize the studying his books, Another time Prabhupada said, just open them any place, right? Open them any place and stick your nose in and don't take it out for 45 minutes. That's our program. Yeah. And the books will guide you themselves, okay? So going through all of this, myself, my dharma, my ashram, everything else, we take Upadeshamrita. Upadeshamrita. We carry it around our neck. Where is it here? Somewhere. Is it here? Here it is. Within easy reach. You can also go to Office Depot and have them chop it, right? And spiral bind it. It makes it very accessible then, like that and stuff. You can leave it open like that and so on. I asked them if they did this often. They said, yeah, people, especially cookbooks, people come in and have them chopped and spiral bound. But it's very nice. This is we have an entire, of course, symposium, seminar on this book. But in there, Prabhupada says in the preface, Upadeshamrita constitutes first instructions for neophyte devotees, like that. And so we have spiral education. We're not like, finishing off one thing and going to the next. We're simply building on it. So this basic things in Upadeshamrita, it's the same thing. Everything is there. It starts off talking about Gaudiya Vaishnavas and finishes off talking about Radha Kund, and everything in between. I thought it was a very advanced book. And one devotee said that to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, no, it is for everybody. Everybody, because it's a summary. Right? Everything is there in a simple fashion like that and so on. So he says it constitutes first instructions for neophyte devotees. And one time, for example, the Vyasa Puja thing, I just went through and took out everything Prabhupada said about ISKCON. What is the instructions for neophyte devotees about what is ISKCON? And Prabhupada gives maybe 7 different explanations about what is ISKCON. It's a society where we can engage in the 6 exchanges. It's a society by which anybody who joins it will become Uttama Adhikari. Very nice basic instructions. But really, if you know this nicely, it's incredible. Nice basis. Then, the second half of every purport, practically speaking, is simply paraphrasing the Anuvritti by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, like that. First, Prabhupada says his comment, then he says, in this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says it is Anuvritti, and there is a translation in English that was done by a Gaudiya Math sannyasi, whose name we won't mention. One Gaudiya Math sannyasi. And it's very nice. It's the Anuvritti. And you can see how Prabhupada is just taking it like that and stuff, Bhaktisiddhanta may say, one should not take haritaki, pan, and these things, tobacco and liquor. Then Prabhupada will expand it to include marijuana, LSD, and opium, like that and stuff. So you can see how, Prabhupada has to put it in a certain perspective. One time we were in Ecuador, and Sunday feast, giving a lecture. And we have 2 devotees from South America here. Devaki Nandan's in charge of developing the educational curriculum for Dhamantari Swami in Brazil. And Jagat Guru has worked with CNN, other reporting agencies like that. So we're all being recorded here for like that. Yeah. So one time we were there in Ecuador, and I gave a lecture, and one lady, maybe about 43 years old ago, she said, I got your books about 2 months ago, and it's so nice. This is such a wonderful experience. She said, but I have a real problem because I run a bakery, right? I run a bakery. And in your books, it says that bread, right, is meant for fulfilling illicit desires. Like that, right? Yeah. Yeah. They understand immediately. Yeah. So, what do you mean like that? She said, it says right here in your books that, illicit desires are satisfied by haritaki, LSD, marijuana, pan. So pan is this chewing stuff. In Spanish, the word for pan is, bread is pan. Yeah. Okay. So, we also have to, take the thing parampara and explain it. Explain it. So, but maybe we're not the Sampradaya Acharya. We're not the Sampradaya Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, and maybe there's not going to be one in this generation. Maybe we'll go 3-4 generations before we get the next Sampradaya Acharya. One time, somebody asked Prabhupada, are the Christians going back to the spiritual world? And Prabhupada said, yes, if they follow Jesus Christ's instructions. And the devotee said, well, how will they know what Jesus Christ's instructions are? And Prabhupada said, some priest will tell them. It doesn't have to be complicated. You got to do it. That's the complication. But Jesus Christ summarizes all the rules and all the laws in 2 things, right? Yeah. You shall love God for your life. Bhakti. Apply it. That's it. Yeah. Everything else will follow. Intelligence, everything else, so on. So Nectar of Instruction. The Bhaktisiddhanta's commentary is there. Then there are citations to support the points, to illuminate them. But it's like, they're not like any citation. It's the citation which refers to this fundamental point and our acharyas use. So if you follow the citations and memorize them, it takes you to this incredible study of all of our books, from Bhagavad Gita to the Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Charitamrita to Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So you stretch it out like that. It's a fantastic study guide, of all of our books like that and so on. So I go on glorifying it here and selling it also. This is how I sell books. I give these classes and works well. So, Prabhupada says, he says, first off, what do you say? Bacho Vegam. Bhakti Bhai Baba? Hear anybody Bhakti Bhai Baba? Yeah. The verse Prabhupada quotes the most is the third verse, like that. You see the third verse. But the first one, okay. Repeat it after me. Vacho Vegam Manasakro Da Vegam. Jiva Vegam Udaro Pasta Vegam. Etam Vegam Yah Vishaheta Dira. Sarvam Api Mam Prativim Sasishat. So there's 6 pushes, right? Bible says the same thing. Bible says you meet a man who has controlled his tongue, you've met a perfected man. Okay, here's my citation. The ordinary man produces 2,000 words a day. The ordinary woman produces 7,000. Yeah. My citation for this is the Southwest Airlines Passengers Magazine. Okay. So that means that if you're a woman and you're Krishna conscious, you're 3.5 times more advanced than the men. Because you're always, yeah. There's a push to talk, to speak like that, the body. So Upadeshamrita is the introduction, the summary. Bhakti Rasamrita is a complete science. Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava are the demonstration, showing it. Yeah. So how does Nectar of Devotion start? What is the Paribhasa Sutra of Nectar of Devotion? Krishnanu Anushilanam. Okay. What is the verse number? You'll never forget it. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? So yeah. First, for western part, eastern part, first wave, 11th verse. The verses before that are invocation, offering my obeisances and obeisances. Then he says, Anya abilasita shunyam jnana karmali anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktirutama. Like that. This is totally paraphrased, is text number 3 of Upadeshamrita, like that. So text number 3 is okay, what is the verse right after that? 1:12. You know it. Sarvopadi Vinir Muktam Tapara Nirmalam Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Uttama. Same thing. But he's saying that pure devotional service means to engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses. And Upadeshamrita starts off with, engage these 6 senses and pushes in the service of the Supreme Lord. So same thing. But how to do it, right? Well, 6 things will make it hard, right? 6 things will make it easy, like that. And those are Utsahan, Nischayadaryat, Tata Karpa Pravartana, Sangatyagat, Satovrate, Shabir Bhaktir, Prasidati. Satovrate, following the footsteps of the previous acharyas. Tata Karma Pravartanat. Tata Karma Pravartanat, following the previous steps. So Prabhupada then in the purport he says, in this movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 o'clock, attend Mangalartik or morning service. I guess you have an option. Perform kirtan and read Srimad-Bhagavatam. So there's the basic morning program. You don't have to. Other things you can add or not add, but at least you should get up early before the sun's up. Brahma Muhurta, and you have your altar. Okay, you can little incense, flower even. And then one bhajan, Gurvastakam, learn the word by word meaning, right? And then kirtan. 20 minutes, kirtan. Then you can chant your rounds. Sun comes up, light. Srimad-Bhagavatam every day. So we're talking about how to structure this Bhakti Bhava studies, all these Bhakti Vedanta studies. But here's one basic, essential thing. Every morning we should study Srimad-Bhagavatam. What's his name? Balabhadra from Atlanta. He said, why is it that I can't attend the full morning and evening program and maybe do like an hour's reading or 2 hours during the daytime and get my Bhakti Shastri, my Bhakti Vedanta? Why does it have to be a separate thing? And I agree completely. We should structure our morning program in such a way that the people are coming, participating online, getting together, coming physically, or have local meetings in their neighborhood. That's all you need to do. Get together every morning. And this is what Prabhupada says in Nectar of Instruction. Every morning, this is required, he says, required. In Spanish, it's translated as pedimos, which means? We request. Latin America, maybe there's a concession for Latinos. I don't know. So on. But no, it's a requirement. Are you satisfied? We've got a contract, an initiation. There's a very simple contract. We promise that if you chant 16 enthusiastic rounds a day and follow the 4 principles strictly, step by step, you will rise to the platform of Uttama Adhikari. This is all in Upadeshamrita. Very simple contract at that point. Now you're matriculated. Right? Yeah. But what are enthusiastic rounds? Again and again, Prabhupada says you cannot keep enthusiasm without this morning program, getting up early, many, many times like that. Yeah, yeah. And so there he gives a description. Get up by 4 o'clock, which is, Brahma Muhurta, and then have arti, simple the deities, kirtan, and Srimad-Bhagavatam. And by that process, okay, after that we can start to systematize it, have a board of examiners, make all this stuff. But without that, we're not satisfying the requirements. I've seen so many people, they get their rounds done during the day, they follow the principles, you don't look at the labels on the containers all the time, but okay, yeah. Then after 5-7 years, they give up. Because I tried it for 7 years, it's not working. Were you getting up in the morning? No. These are part of the requirements. You're not chanting enthusiastic rounds. And after a while, the offenses build up and, you give it up. And it's the most horrible thing because you think you did it. I did it for so many years. You didn't do it. It's not chanting 16 rounds. It's chanting 16 enthusiastic rounds. read the fine print, right? Got a lawyer here, right? Yeah, read the fine print. Yeah. And it's 4 principles strictly, so on. And that's a basic thing. Then after that, it expands in so many ways, what it means like that and so on. But there we have it. We have Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's glorified by the whole world who knows it is such an incredible literature. Yeah. Then beyond that, we have, Prabhupada's association, everything else. We have a society. He gives descriptions. Get up early, chant your rounds, right? Somebody asked me about 8 years ago, after all your experience, what does all this Krishna consciousness come down to? It was nice. I was thinking about it. And for me, 8 words. Get up early and get your rounds done. You just do that. Whole day is okay. If you got 5 left or something, dragging them out, get up early and get your rounds done. And so, don't eat pizza late at night, everything else, okay. Okay. Yeah. So then we got Bhagavatam, then working out how to make it systematic, how to make it accessible for different people. Different people are going to approach Bhagavatam in a different way. It's different. We were going through these Bhakti Bhava studies, our group, and there were 2 ladies in our group, actually 2 or 3, 2. It was very incredible because they were, it came to the story of the son of Drona punished, and all those guys were looking at Dronacharya, and they were all like naturally looking how Draupadi was reacting to this, if somebody, I'm a sannyasi, okay, if somebody, all Draupadi's children were killed, well, that's too bad, But if you're a lady, you might write, God, you can relate to this. What's this like, 9 months of gestation, so many years of breastfeeding, and 14 years of keeping the guy straight on the road, and he grows up and gets killed. It's like, something missing in my life, like that and so on, So everybody approaches Srimad-Bhagavatam differently. Right? It's unlimited. Every single person approaches it differently like that and so on. So maybe we do Bhakti Bhava as an overview, right? You go through and you read it, cover it off maybe 5 years, first 6 cantos like that. And you got some perspective. You got a general idea what it is, where things are like that and so on. And we'll have, of course, a whole section on Shastric studies today, so I don't want to go into it too much like that and so on. You know. But that's basically it. Srimad-Bhagavatam is the heart of the Bhaktivedanta library. You don't have to, Hansaduta told us, you know, that Prabhupada, one time he was traveling with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, why do you think I wrote so many books? And he said, well, because there's such a good philosophy, everything else, you know. And Prabhupada said, no, I wrote all these books to convince you to chant Hare Krishna. If you chant Hare Krishna, you don't need to read any books. And Hansaduta said at that point he realized he wasn't convinced to chant all the time. We take shelter of our administrative abilities, of our money, or, you know, yeah, like that. Don't always, just in all circumstances, chant. So we still need to read the books. You know, yeah. So here it is. 2 mantras are enough. Prabhupada says you can base this entire movement on 2 mantras, which are? Yeah. But I have a suspicion, at the time of death, when everything is disoriented and you don't know where to go, the mantra that's going to save our life is Sarira Vijajal, which is in Upadeshamrita. Yeah, Prabhu, it's Prasadam Prabhu. Yeah, other mantras, but yeah, those are sufficient, you know. Then he also adds Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha as the 3rd mantra. Yeah. But beyond that, if you want to preach, especially, systematic knowledge, systematic understanding, making it a part of your community, how this relates to my community. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, any questions, comments like this, complaints, donations? Yes, sir. He's always got questions. Anyway, Priyatama. Everybody has a full set of Bhagavatams? They do, okay. Yeah. One of our good disciples, my disciple, I'm his disciples, Prahlad and Shringa. Actually, I have 4 disciples named Prahlad and Shringa. They're totally different. Yeah. Anyway, he's the person who does Vedabase.com. Again, it was his passion. He's a programmer, and so, you know, he didn't like the Vanapedia, but, you know, it's like any guy who's an expert in anything is like, this is not correct, this and that and stuff. So he got permission from them and the BBT to do the Vedabase.com. Now, all of Prabhupada's books, well, I guess all of them are online like that in English. And now the advantage, too, is, you know, we're getting in Spanish, very prominently in Spanish like that and so on, you know. And so you can just refer people, just, you know, you're doing preaching, you just put the citation right in there and people can go right to it and stuff. Wherever you are, you have access to Prabhupada's books, you know, to modern media, you know. And also he's, if you look on there, if you go to any book, it'll say advanced view. Before it said chapter view, which was kind of incomprehensible, we changed it. With the advanced view, you can pick what you want to see. If you just want to see the Sanskrit and start chanting, or you want to see just go through the purports, or you want to just translation. So it's very good facility. The search engine's pretty good. You can find stuff well. I looked up Vaishnavi on there. It's interesting what you get back if you look up Vaishnavi. Yeah. But he wants now to go ahead and have an introduction page, you know, where people, when they come for the first time, because they just come and the books are all there, it gets a little introduction like that, and so on. And he wants to set it up so everybody can be a user for free, so you can leave your bookmarks and start collecting stuff, you know. And also make an index which goes across languages by paragraph, you know. And that requires somebody like a professional librarian to help you to understand how to set up an index. For example, if you say ghee, okay, you're talking about fire sacrifices or cooking, you know. So an index is a really incredible task like that. Scholars, many scholars, they're starting to accept now that you can, you know, study religions, you can quote from them. You know, they have their own way of doing things. It's different than our scholarly way, but they have, you know, the Bible scholars have their system and stuff, okay. And we have our system too, okay. So it's starting to become like more connected, you know, theologians and scholars and stuff with religious communities and being able to take them on their own terms. So you need an index terms that they can use. How many people know what a hagiography is? Do you know? Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's biography which is based on sort of mission, what you heard. And
yeah, it's a biography of a religious person. Yeah, why not just say that? Well, because
it's Because a religious person
based upon religious sources?
Yeah, what you've heard through the
Okay.
or what we call it, and
Okay.
it's not the sort of authorized.
Okay.
Oral
Yeah.
transmission.
Or scriptural sources. So we'll say then, do you have a hagiography of Rupa Goswami? Okay. Yeah, there's different sources like that and stuff. So you look in our books, hagiography, Rupa Goswami. That's their terminology. But they would probably push it more, theologians would push it more towards, the religious tradition. They have terms and stuff, and you give them those terms and it's friendly, they're going to start using it like that and stuff. So it's an incredible work, doing a really good index. There's an index in all of Prabhupada's books, but it's all over every book. You got to assemble it like that. And maybe you want to do it a little differently and stuff. The Vanapedia is doing this. So much work to make us available. Yeah.
When you're speaking about waking up early, that requires taking rest early. Most devotees don't understand that. It's absolutely important to take rest before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then you can easily wake up. The biological clock gets used to it.
Yeah.
And that requires discipline.
Yeah.
After 10 o'clock, one is sort of attacked by demons
Yeah.
flying around the air and
Yeah,
you get caught up in all kinds of time-wasting activities.
Yeah.
You have to strictly
Yeah.
take rest before 10 o'clock.
Yeah. And also to not eating a heavy meal late at night.
The last time you should eat is 6 o'clock.
Okay.
4 hours.
Okay. I heard, depends on the body though too. I heard 6 hours. But my body, yeah, definitely. It's after 4 o'clock. It's like, everybody's different too. Some people, maybe they need to eat a little green at night or something, so. But yeah, it's a whole, once you make a decision to do it, then you start to see, okay, getting up in the morning means, not going to bed late at night and so on. And that.
There are studies, scientific studies now that prove people who wake up early and eat.
Yeah.
People who wake up late.
I also see scientific studies.
And many of the things that Prabhupada taught us are being validated now.
Yeah. I saw one, same thing, sleep thing, which was talking about you'll sleep better if you sleep on your left side. There was a conference I was chief guest on.
There's also, you live longer if you do have sex life.
Yeah.
You live healthier.
Yeah. Early to bed and early to rise. But it was on science and technology in ancient India, organized by the Calcutta University. Okay, they organized it because I contacted them over the years. I did it because I talked to Sri Damodar Maharaj. Sri Damodar Maharaj talked to it because he got it from Prabhupada. And they didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, the people were coming, they just thought they organized it. But I saw specifically how that came from Prabhupada, to Sri Damodar Maharaj, to me, to them. So all these concepts, like you're saying, all these scientific people, the ideas are going in. It's this Prabhupada's ideas have become so pervasive in society. Yeah. And now we can take advantage of them. I think Ananta Rupa has our last question here, last comment. Artik's time. Yeah. Jai, Shishi, Nilamadava ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai.